Director General, NIR DPR, esteemed faculty members of the National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, staff members of the National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, residents of the NIR DPR campus, students of this Institute of National Eminence. Greetings to you on the occasion of Republic Day 2023, a day for us to recognize the contributions made by our faculty members to this institute and to national progress and development. If you recollect our last meeting on the occasion of the Independence Day, the 75th year of India's independence, we reviewed India's significant achievements and NIRDPR's contribution to India's significant achievements. In 75 years of independence, India moved from the situation of having a begging bowl in its hand to the third largest exporter of agricultural produce in the world. At the stroke of independence, we had a poverty of almost about 80%. 80% of India's population was poor. Today, the situation is reverse. 80% of the population is above poverty line and only 20% below it. We made significant improvements in the quality of life, from a life of deprivation and want to a life of plenty, life of choices, and we continually make improvements in the quality of our life in health, education, and various other sectors. This is an occasion for us to recount the hard work put in by generations of contributors to India's development and progress, including those from the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. Ever since we last met on the occasion of the 75th year of India's independence, India has made significant progress and has become the fifth largest economy in the world, going ahead of the United Kingdom. A long-term occupier of India. Before the British occupied India, India was the most prosperous economy in the world. And from that state to about 300 years of occupation of India, extraction of its resources, manpower by the Britishers, India got reduced to one of the poorest countries in the world. And now again we see the rise of India to the Committee of Nations. This year we have become the fifth largest economy of the world, and we continue to make progress, and it is expected that by 2025 India would become the fourth largest economy, going beyond Germany, and by 26-27 or so we are expected to become the third largest economy, going beyond Japan. Such are the strides of progress being made by our country under the able leadership of our visionary Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, whose vision we should all align with, a vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, or Sabka Vishwas. And we should also align with the indomitable spirit of this person, with the hard work that he brings to the nation, and the hard work with which he is taking the nation forward. It therefore becomes duty of every Indian to align ourselves with that vision and to work equally hard to take the country forward on the path of progress. We in India have these large programs of rural development and Panchayati Raj, for which the government spend about 3.5 lakh crores every year for the welfare of the poor, downtrodden and the disadvantaged. NIIDPR endeavors to support and hasten India's march on the path to progress through these initiatives, by making these initiatives more effective, to see that this huge amount of investment made for the welfare of the poor, downtrodden and disadvantaged is more effective, reaches the beneficiaries in full measure and benefits them in full measure. Towards this direction, as many of you are aware, NIID functions as the think tank for several ministries of the Government of India, including the Ministry of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj. We work as the apex capacity building organization through a network of 29 state institutes of rural development, 90 extension training centers. Through these organizations, we have a reach to every panchayat of this country, to every nook and corner of this country. No other organization, no other institution has this reach. This is the uniqueness of this institution. And it therefore becomes our greater responsibility to contribute to India's progress in full measure. We've been working hard to improve quality of life in rural areas. Of course, we work on poverty, but we increasingly are working on improving the quality of life in rural areas holistically. We made significant strides of progress in NIIDPR also over the past 6 months that we have met. As a think tank, we have contributed significantly to the work of the state finance commissions. We had a state finance commissions conclave, which was only the second ever state finance commissions conclave. As many of you would be aware, the state finance commissions play a very important role in apportioning resources of the state between the state government and the local bodies, including the municipal corporations and the panchayats. We hosted the state finance commissions here to show them the way as to how they can better work to apportion these resources for the benefit of the state and for the benefits of the local bodies. Similarly, we hosted a committee of the Government of India on reviewing the world's largest safety net program, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. We gave them very constructive suggestions on how this program can be improved. Similarly, we did an extensive study on Adarsh Gram Express Yojana, which provides transportation facilities on rural roads through self-help group women, self-help group enterprises. The country has made rapid strides of progress. Now, every village of this country is connected with a motorable road because of good work done under the Prime Minister's Gram Sadak Yojana. Almost 95% of the villages of this country are connected with electricity supply. We are now moving forward to provide piped drinking water supply to every household of this country through the Jal Jeevan Mission. We've achieved more than 60% success already in this, and we are on time target to achieve the rest also. Our study under the Adarsh Gram Express Yojana, we made significant contributions to the continuation of this scheme and making suggestions on how the scheme's implementation can be improved. Likewise, we hosted here the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Rural Development, gave them significant ideas and on how implementation of rural development and Panchayati Raj programs can be improved, how new and more effective programs can be brought to being. On the other hand, we made significant contribution to capacity building of rural development Panchayati Raj functionaries in the country. As many of you would be aware, NIRD's works spans the entire knowledge spectrum, thereby meaning we create knowledge through evidence-based research, apply that created knowledge through action research, and the distilled knowledge from action research projects we disseminate through various capacity building events to fill the gaps in the capacity building framework of the country. To fill the gaps in the implementation guidelines that are to be issued by the states. And NIRD's capacity building programs, training programs, contribute significantly to improvement of the implementation framework for the rural development and Panchayati Raj programs, which I was mentioning to you, consume a huge amount of investment, about 3.5 lakh crore rupees every year. As steps in this direction, we have evolved a very well-focused training calendar that draws upon the training needs assessment conducted across the length and breadth of this country. We made significant improvement in the quality of our work, quality of our program delivery, thanks to the efforts put in by our faculty members and by others. About 6 months to a year back, we sought various national level institutes to sign memorandum of understanding with them to enhance our own capacities. During the past 6 months or so, six months to a year or so, we've signed about 20 memorandums of understanding with various national level institutes. That includes the ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, various central universities, Vamni Common Cooperative Sector, and so on and so forth. Today, there are more than 6 institutions, national level institutions, waiting in line to sign MOUs with us. A year back, we sought those institutions to sign MOUs with them. Today, institutions seek us out to sign MOUs with us. This is testimony and evidence to the quality improvement that we've been able to bring about in the academics, in our contributions to the nation. We have to keep apace with this quality improvement and continue to make contributions through good academics, to filling the capacity building gaps for better implementation of the rural development and Panchayati Raj programs. Similarly, this year we revived the long pending annual action plan for implementation of the world's largest safety net program, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, which leads to capacity enhancement of various functionaries up to the field level and to better implementation of the program. Like this, we made significant strides over the past 6 months for better implementation of rural development and Panchayati Raj programs, which holistically I believe has contributed to significant improvement in the national situation, significant growth of the country's economy. In the same vein, we would like to contribute significantly to the country's growth and progress over the next year or so. As we look to the next financial year, we would like to take efforts to start a school of excellence in Panchayati Raj. National Institute of Rural Development had Panchayati Raj merged with it, and it became the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. But a lot of our work and efforts continue to remain focused on rural development rather than Panchayati Raj, which is a whole tier of government below the central and the state governments. The local governments at the panchayat level need to be handheld, need to be supported significantly. There is no body of knowledge in this country to support these local governments. So we'd like to take these efforts by setting up the School of Excellence in Panchayati Raj, which will have 9 specialized centers focusing on various aspects such as panchayat governance, panchayat accounts and finance, and so on and so forth. This, we believe, will be a significant step in strengthening governance of panchayats in this country. Similarly, we're taking efforts to convert our postgraduate diploma programs into master's degree programs, and also to launch a PhD program with a reputed university in the country. We're taking these steps because when the country is making huge investments, 3.5 lakh crore rupees in rural development in Panchayati Raj, the question that we ask ourselves is, do the poor of this country and does this country not deserve a trained cadre of professionals in rural development and Panchayati Raj? With a view to fill this lacuna, we are trying to introduce good quality master's degree programs and PhD program in rural development and Panchayati Raj to set it as a model for other universities to emulate, for them to start similar master's and PhD degree programs in rural development and Panchayati Raj. The Rural Technology Park of NIRDPR is a significant institution which fosters technological innovation in the rural areas and in rural enterprises. We have plans to upgrade it to a startup park over the next year or so. This country, ladies and gentlemen, has 80 lakh self-help groups which spread across the length and breadth of the country and are present in every nook and corner of this country. 80 lakh self-help groups with 8 crore women. But they've not been able to move forward to set up micro-enterprises to give a boost to the rural economy, to give a boost to the income of the poor families from which these women come. We'd like to take accelerated measures for enabling the setting of micro-enterprises of these self-help group women. On the same lines as the State Finance Commission's conclave, we'd like to conduct during the upcoming year a State Election Commission's conclave. Similarly, we're focusing on developing a rural development policy for this country, which has unfortunately not come into existence over the past 75 years. We're working on developing villages as energy sufficient villages, which are wholly fed by solar power rather than by other thermal power sources, so that we become a truly significant model of sustainable development. We're trying to link up panchayat planning through the GPDP with the agricultural development, and we are having leading initiatives on that. India has a great demographic dividend, but we've not been able to utilize the demographic dividend of the youth population. We're trying to upskill our youth population to international standards so that they can get international certifications and get placements in various countries abroad. And towards that end, we have plans to start a center of excellence. All these initiatives that we're planning, ladies and gentlemen, will not become possible without your support, without your cooperation. And I'd like to seek your support and cooperation to take the institution forward, to take the nation forward. But at the same time, we have to realize the challenges before us. A significant challenge which is before us is to make the institution self-sustaining, a challenge set for us by the Government of India. Taking into consideration the good work the institute is doing, the progress the institute has been able to make, and believing that the institute can become self-sustaining on its own, the Government of India has set for us the challenge that within a short span of time we need to become self-sustaining. And I'm confident with your support and cooperation we can make this happen. But this calls for improvement in the quality of our work to meet the expectations of our varied stakeholders. This calls for increasing the range of stakeholders with whom we work. This calls for more productively engaging with our stakeholders. As I was mentioning to you, all these will happen through your support and cooperation, and we look to support and cooperation to make this happen. While self-sustenance of the institute is a challenge, it can also be a great opportunity for us. As they say, with every challenge comes an opportunity. And the opportunity here is one of greater freedom to do what we want to do, to be better recognized, to be better remunerated. And we're taking steps in this direction for the welfare of the staff, through MSCP programs, through career advancement schemes, and so on. Lastly, I would say this, that this is a great institute which has contributed significantly to the nation, and now we seek your support and cooperation to develop NIRT into a new institute and a vibrant NIRDPR. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
As part of the Republic Day celebrations, various sports are organized by NIRDPR Sports and Recreation Club. And now it's time for awards.